Beat him senseless.
You and me and you, we gonna throw down. That's right, we gonna get serious.
You can run, but you can't hide.
It's time for the Fuller Broadcast with your host, Jeff Fuller, and your co-host, Anthony the Tiger Cruz, bringing you the latest sports updates and interviews with your favorite athletes.
Boom! Welcome to the Fuller Broadcast. 24/7 sports news, live interviews, and media coverage. Welcome to my second segment. I will have Cash Bell on my show. Let's get him on here right now. All right. So as you guys seen the first segment show, it was a little bit hectic between these two fighters. They've been trying to get a fight to happen between Reggie Burnett Jr. and Dat B. Dat. As you can see, them two had wise words to say to each other, and this will continue until we see a matchup between these two. This is going to be a good matchup between these two. I don't know, man, but I don't know what happened from the beginning. I wasn't there. Didn't see how this turned out, but it was a family matter, talking about somebody else's family or whatever it is. So you heard it from the last two fighters. So let's get my co-host Anthony Cruz back on here. What's up, Anthony?
What's up? What's up?
Not much, man. What you think about that first segment, man?
Oh my God, that was amazing. That was great. That was great. That's definitely gonna go down.
I'm think that I'm gonna get over like 1,000 views on that.
Oh my God, that's woo! It was awesome. But you see, that's what happens. You never expect. You know what's gonna happen. We put two guys, and it is what it is. I mean, it's part of the fighting, part of the sport, I mean, but I think it will be a good fight. I think it could go either way. I think it's a good fight. I think, like the old saying goes, styles makes fights, and they both got very interesting styles that, on paper, it could go, they could make a really exciting fight. So I hope, hopefully, Bare Knuckle is watching that, be like, you know what, that could be a good fight in the future.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting to see. So my next guest I have is Cass Bell. He's a fighter, MMA fighter out of I think they call it Bellator MMA.
Right. Where?
Say that again.
No. What gym is he trains for under?
I think it's part of the under UFC. It's like the lower professional fighters.
Okay.
I saw like 4 or 5 of his fights. He's the guy that fight. He has green hair. He's the upcoming fighter to see if he goes to UFC and he gets his first contract. Man, this is the boy you want to see fight. He doesn't stop until he knocks somebody out. I mean, when he steps in that circle, the fight is done. I believe. Yeah, I believe like the last 3 fights he had, he beat his opponent, knocked him out like first round. So once we get him on here, I think he's having problems getting on the link. Hang on for a second.
Right.
He should be coming on. So anyway, while we're waiting for him, so we got Dat B. Dat is going to end up fighting Johnny, I guess, in a couple of months for the belt. So
that's gonna be a good fight. Yeah, that's gonna be a good fight.
And man, but we're talking about Reggie Burnett Jr. That he's got steam coming out. I believe that steam is gonna. Once he hits in that ring, he's gonna let all that steam out. There ain't no stopping Reggie. There ain't no stopping Reggie.
Yeah, I mean, fighters change. So sometimes you see a fighter fight before and be like, his style is whatever. But then, you have a little rain, a little anger with in you, and you might change your style going into the next fight. You know what I'm saying? It might be more aggressive,
Right.
or throw more combinations. So you never know how that aggression could translate in a fight. So it could make it a very exciting fight. I mean, you never know.
So as you were seeing this interview, did you see anything like if that be that is walking away from Reggie? Does he think that Reggie could beat him, or do you think it's just the money that he's waiting on? He is a money fight. He wants a
I don't
money fight.
know. I don't know, because that's something that only he knows. You know what I'm saying? Whether he thinks
Right.
Reggie could be a threat, or he feels like, well, dude has, he's good. He has good hands. Has good speed. Yeah, I fight him, but I will fight for more money. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the money is an issue to fight him, or maybe he sees him as a threat. We don't know. Only he knows that. You know what I'm saying? But either way, Bernacle is watching our show. You know what I'm saying? Be like, you know what? It still could be an exciting fight. You know what I'm saying? So, I will watch it. I would like to see it. You know what I'm saying? So, let's see if the fans also agree.
Yeah, I know. Reggie just messaged me. He's like, I think it really is personal when you bring a family into a. I don't think your family, nothing. It should be just about fighting when it comes to competition.
Right.
I don't understand why fighters would want to bring family in. Just maybe to hype things up, make it matter, or it's just a respect to other fighter. If you want to
Right.
disrespect them in different areas. But just if he did talk about his family, you know, maybe he was wrong, maybe he don't remember. But as a respectful wrestler and ex boxer, I would never bring another fighter's family member
Yeah.
in.
No, but
It was just
sometimes mistakes do happen. Sometimes whether you happen to fight or not, uh, um, maybe he didn't meant it like that, but it came out like
right.
that. You see what I'm saying? Uh, uh,
Yeah.
um, and it depends on you how you're gonna take it. You say, wait a minute, it was cool. You could disrespect me and call me out the whole 9 yards, and I could take that. But the minute you mention my family, whether it's a good thing or not, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, I don't want
Just by mentioning the family, he might take it personal.
right. Hang on. All right, we got Mr. Bell on now. There he is.
What
What's up,
up? I finally got on.
What's up? What's up?
What up?
Hey,
How you
How you
doing? How you
doing?
doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing great. A little tired, a little exhausted today, but I mean, it's
Right.
what it is. Just happy to
So
get on
Another
though.
day, man.
Exactly.
So some of these people really don't know you that well, but I'm the only one that actually been watching you fight. With your green hair in the ring and stuff.
Yes.
So give everybody on this show who you are and who you fight for.
All right. So my name's Cass Bell. I fight for Bellator MMA. I've been fighting with them since I turned pro. And yeah, I'm out of California, fighting out of Humboldt County, and all my fights have been in Bellator, for my professional level, and yeah, I think that's it.
Nice.
So how does it feel to be where you're at right now? I know you're undefeated right now. So how does it feel to keep that streak going and just how you do it?
I mean, it feels good. I mean, it feels great. When I was amateur, though, I mean, I really got to thank my coaches and all that for how I feel with all this. Because when I was amateur, we fought. I mean, I always fought like tough fights. Obviously, in the beginning, it was level. One and I think my first fight, I fought a dude, Sean McNulty. I think he was like 2-1 or something like that, or 2-2. My very first fight. But ever since then, it was just always tough fights. My coaches always pushed me. They always made me, fight tough fights. I actually lost my very first fight, which was, a great experience for me. And so, so being undefeated as a pro, I mean, as an amateur, we took all the risks before and already, to already experience everything, to already experience the winning, already experience the losing, and just so I was ready for this time. So when it was my time to shine, I could do it. So right when I got the call for Bellator, when I was an amateur, they called and asked. They knew I was going to go pro, and so that was my next step. So they hit me up. I said yes, let's do it. Let's get this going, and then been fighting with them ever since.
That's great, but that's I guess the price it pays to have a good amateur background, because it helps you. A lot of fighters do 1 or 2 fights and turn pro, and you see it. They make a lot of mistakes that you should correct and learn from the amateur level. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
There's no need to rush it.
Exactly.
But having a good amateur record, my kickboxing coach, my first kickboxing coach, Louis Bad Boy Ruiz from New York, was a 3-time world kickboxing champion. That was his thing. You know what I'm saying? But
nice.
Back then in New York, you have to have 15 amateur fights minimum before you turn pro. You know what I'm saying? And they were strict about it. Now you got guys doing 1 or 2 fights and turn pro, and no big deal.
Yep.
But
there's even guys that never even fought before that, or even going pro. Yep.
That's right. Yep. But it pays off because, like you said, like it happened to me. My first amateur fight, I lost, and that was a learning experience. You know what I'm saying? Then after that, boom. You know what I'm saying? But I guess you as a fighter, you live and learn, and you adjust, and you make it get better from it. And my hat goes up for you, man.
Yeah, thank you. Exactly. And your coach was, 100% right. It's, you got to experience it all, especially in the fighting game. So much different things are going to happen that you're not even going to expect.
That's right.
I mean, things, even now I'm still going to, figure out some, things that I'm not even ready for. But I mean, it was just a smart decision. I'm glad I listened to my coaches, my team, and I'm glad, we made that decision to, take my time. I mean, I was fighting amateur for years, and my amateur record was 7-5 on Tapology, but I mean, I was fighting at Share Heights casinos, so we'd fight a couple times of the night. So really, it was like I don't know, 22-7, I think, is my real amateur record, and all the fights were tough fights. I never really took an easy fight at all. We could have went that route and could have been, because as an amateur, you could pretty much pick who you want to fight and stuff. And it was just like, once we got to a certain level, it was like, hey, let's go down the list of all the top amateur fighters and let's fight them. And then also too, I was fighting at 145 and above. So I never fought at 135, which I fight now. But that was the whole goal, fight at upper weight classes, experience, get my butt kicked, kick people's butts too, and experience everything as much as we can. So I'm glad we stuck with it, and it's paying off. I'm 5-0 now, and it's I'm loving it. I just can't wait to get back in the cage. So it's been a while.
It's amazing because when you say amateur, most people don't realize that because the fight was amateur, they don't mean nothing or it's not as tough. Let me tell you something. My toughest fights was actually at the amateur level because all these guys are hungry. They're coming up. They're coming from different gyms, different new camps. They're trying to make a name for themselves too. So you'd be surprised that even at amateur level, these guys are good. They're hungry. They want to make it. And sometimes they're actually tougher than the pros.
No, exactly. And like they have the same goals too. Because I mean, then you start fighting. There's a couple guys like Chris Sunshine, who I fought. He was 7-0 when I fought him. There was Abdul, who was still an amateur. No, actually, he just went pro, but he was 7-0. Chris Sunshine fights for Bellator, for 145. And I mean, and then I also, tough. I fought for King of the Cage too. I won the amateur world title in Vegas for that fight, and I fought Jason Roop. Jason Roop's a tough competitor. He actually didn't go pro, but I mean, he had 7-something fights, and he was a killer. It was, and so there are definitely some tough, amateurs, and everybody, especially when you get to a certain level, everybody with a high record, I mean, they're going for something too. They want the same thing. They want to go pro, so when they're ready to go pro, they're ready to kick some butt.
Especially
that goes
big
to my
stage.
next question.
Right.
So you're a pro now, right? So the level you're at right now, do you ever see yourself fighting in the UFC in the future if they call you up?
It all just depends. I mean, UFC's actually hit me up. Was one of the first guys to hit me up. It was Bellator and UFC both hit me up to see if I wanted to fight for them. and I choose Bellator at the moment. At the time, it was just better. It was just a better contract. Everything I liked better about it, and I was guaranteed a fight, so we went with them. It all just depends, you know. Obviously, I mean, I love to fight, and if the money's right and everything works out, and you know, UFC wants to buy my contract when you know, when I'm like probably 10-0 or whatever they want to do, then, you know, I'm down. You know, I want to fight the best of the best. We have a lot of killers, especially at the bantamweight division in Bellator. And so, you know, I definitely want to fight all those guys. But I kind of want to fight all those guys first, take them all out, win the title, and then, you know, and then decide to move on from there if I need to. But I mean, there's a lot of promotions, you know, I want to keep moving on. So after I take the 135 belt, you know, see how far I can go, maybe go up to 145 and test my waters out there and see how I go. Or, or, you know, if somebody calls and somebody buys my contract out, then do it that way.
Smart.
All right. So, how did you start fighting? Were you like a young kid and you looked up to somebody and say, "Hey, I want to try this," or did you just enjoy beating the crap out of everybody in your school?
I just love to fight. I didn't really watch any fights until like I was like probably a junior or senior in high school, and it was a Jose Aldo versus Uriah Faber. I can't remember if it was the first or second fight that they did, but it was just a crazy fight. I was like, what? This is awesome. I fell in love with it then. But like way before, I mean, like I was always you know, always getting in trouble, always fighting, could never keep my hands to myself. There was always you know, there's bullies and stuff. I never had that kind. It was only me and my mom, and my mom was a single mom, a single parent, and then I had my sisters. I was the oldest, and so we didn't have too much money at all. So I would always get picked on at school here and there and stuff, and I deserved it some of the times too. I was a little shithead, but I just started, you know, just growing up, just fighting. You know, there's the biggest things I always think about is actually, I want to share this too. I forgot I didn't share this with my people. But on Facebook, is there a way to share this? Like this live, because it's on the thing. Okay, I'm gonna get online, but I'm gonna keep talking. So where I was getting at, so like one biggest thing, and I kind of want to thank my this one bully. I won't say his name, but he was an 8th grader. I was 6th grader. And so he'd come through and pick on all of us, and especially all my friends and stuff. The only time I would get mad is if if somebody was picking on my friends. So then I'd be this little guy, super small kid, and he'd be picking on him, and I'd stand up and be like, you know, screw you and whatever else. And he just kicked the crap out of me every time. And but I would just get up and keep running my mouth. And but I mean, definitely thanks to him. I think he's one of the reasons why I'm I'm so tough in there. I mean, I just take a beating.
Hey,
you know, there's this, you know, it happened all the time. Every time at school, it was just, you know, he'd be saying something, then I'd run up and be like, screw you, and then he'd just beat the crap out of me every time. So yeah, I mean, like, I don't know, I just grew up with it. My mom definitely hated it. My mom was super hippie. She hated no violence, no guns, no nothing. And I just, you know, I don't know what it was. I just wanted it. I was a boy, you know, I wanted that's what I wanted. I like physical. I like wrestling. I like grappling. I like running around and all that stuff. So, I mean, shoot, I just love it. I just love doing it. I do it all day, every day.
Yeah. Sometimes life, throws you a curve, man, and you don't know how far you're going to go with it. You know what I'm saying? Until you spark that fire, and the rest is history, as they say, you know?
Exactly. I'm sharing this right now on live.
Nice.
All right. So, so you know, I've been watching you fight. I watched your last 4 fights. I enjoy seeing you fight. What is it going to be like to right now, once you start fighting, not having the fans in the stands? Is it going to be a lot different, like, atmosphere for you, or how do you feel about it?
Yeah, no, definitely. It definitely is. I have so much support. I've always had so much support living here, being a local in Humboldt County. And so I love the crowd. You know, I love seeing my friends out there, all my boys, all my family and friends. I love to see them out there. And, you know, like, there's times when I was fighting as an amateur and I'd be out there and I'm like, oh, I'm getting tired, or I'm getting my butt whooped a little bit, and then I look up, I hear, everybody screaming and pumping me on, and I just get it just clicks, it just changes, it just sets the fire off in me, and it just keeps me going. I mean, I could do that anyways, even if I'm by myself and when we're training just with my team and stuff like that. But I mean, it definitely helps. It won't be so nerve-wracking, I guess, because there's not going to be anybody there. But when I'm in the cage, I can hear my coaches talking. I can hear their coaches talking. I can hear my daughter screaming, go, Dad, and I can hear certain people. I hear certain kids, my certain wrestling kids I go there to, and I hear them, and I can pick them out. So, I mean, I don't know. It is going to be different, but I think I'll do just fine also.
Yeah, me and Fula were talking about that last week. I was like, me as a fighter myself, I need the fans. I like to interact with the fans before the fight, during the fight, and after the fight. And friends and family there, big motor, your butt whip, but somehow, you fight for more because it's like you're not just fighting for yourself no more. So you're fighting for them too, and you want to give the fan and your family the show. You don't want to just let them down. So being there and interacting with fans, man, it's like, for me, it's cloud nine, man. I can't do it without no fans.
Yep, no, exactly. And like my big thing too is after the fights, I don't care if I'm beat up, bruised up, or can't even walk. I'm still out there saying what up to everybody.
That's right.
Taking photos with everybody, saying hi, saying thanks to everybody. I mean, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be where I'm at. So,
Amen.
I mean, that's gonna be the craziest thing, not going out and saying what up to everybody. And I guess I'm just gonna have to show it in the cage and wave to everybody on TV, and then something like that. But it is gonna be pretty crazy. But I can't wait.
Yeah,
I'm hoping
different whole
Coker gets in there.
Right, it's a whole different experience. Something we would never think that one day be like, fighting with no fans. Are you crazy?
Exactly. But I mean, like we have our fights. I mean, we're all controlled and stuff. But we, like back in the day, I was fighting. We'd be either a street fight or it'd be group of people. It'd be no group of people. Even during high school, I'd have these boxing gloves, and then a group of us would go box just after school every day and just throw down and stuff. Sometimes it was me and my buddy, but sometimes it was a whole bunch of it was everybody. So I mean, yeah, it's gonna be crazy, but it's gonna be cool too. I just can't wait to fight again. I need to get in there.
Yeah, definitely.
So me watching you, and now that my co-host and everybody else that I interviewed that are on my Facebook knows who you are now, a lot of people are like, who is that? I'm like, dude, you need to do your research. So what is it like? Are you going to be changing your hair color every time, or you just like keep it green, or maybe do
it stays green. It stays green. It's Humboldt County. I love all the support from Humboldt County and stuff, so it stays green. It's been green since my very first fight when I fought in Sherry Heights. I fought twice that night. I made it to the championships, and it's just stuck with me ever since. I actually lost that fight in the championships. And but I mean, it's kept me going, kept me hungry. If it was easy, I probably would lose interest in it. And I love the fighting aspect. I love the competition. I love getting beat up a little bit here and there. I mean, it's just, it's in my blood. So I love the challenge.
I tell people all the time, is listen, if you're not a masochist, you cannot be a fighter, because you have to love getting hit too. And they look at me like I'm crazy. Listen, if you don't like pain and you like getting beat up a little bit, fighting is not for you. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I'd always be like in wrestling practice up at Arcata High. I was friends with the seniors and the juniors and everybody there when I was a freshman and all the way up. But I mean, I love just getting tortured. So I'd be running my mouth, jumping on the bigger guys. They just kicked the crap out of me, and it was just like, it was just all for fun though. Yeah. Nowadays you can't do that. Now everybody gets in trouble. But I loved all that. Like I'd push their buttons. Just I would get my butt kicked, but
it's something about getting beat up that brings the best out of you. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You can let it beat it. You can let it beat you and break you down, or you let it build you up, become stronger because of it. You know what I'm saying? And I learned that me getting beat up actually I became better and stronger. Whether it was kickboxing, getting beat up by Luis Ruiz, who was a 3-time champion, getting beat up by Hensel Gracie and all the guys from Team Hensel Gracie in New York. I mean, I was just the kickboxing champion doing MMA. I didn't know about takedowns and jiu-jitsu. You got all these guys kicking my butt, but you know what?
Yeah.
You learn, you get stronger.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It became maybe a humble experience in the end.
Heck yeah, exactly right.
So, the show's getting ready in here. I really appreciate you coming on my show. I wanted everybody to know all about you, who you are, who you fight for, because I support you. I watch you all the time. Even my son asks me, who's that guy in the green hair,
Nice. Heck yeah.
So I'm going to be watching you all the way until you get that bell around your waist. You keep up that good work you're doing. Keep pushing and grinding. And is there anything out there you'd like to say to your fans, your family, coaches?
I just want to say, thank you to you guys too. Thank you having me on and letting me, share my some of my stories and stuff and the support. Next time I fight, you guys want to watch. I finished every single fight besides my very last one in Hawaii. I never let it go to the judges. This last one was Pierre Dagazan. He was 5-4 at the time. I mean, he was just a tough dude. Tough dude. Wanted to go out, but I clipped him, pretty good with some spinning back fists and nice. A whole bunch of head kicks and a whole bunch of everything else. But and it was somebody's birthday, so. It was somebody's birthday online. One of the fans, they said for birthday they wanted me just a head kick. He wanted the head kick KO, so that's what I was going for. I couldn't stop until I got it. And unfortunately, though, I didn't get it. It was close. It was some close calls, but I couldn't get it for him. But I'm always, I'm always pushing the pace. I'm always looking for exciting fights. My next fight too, hopefully it happens. Fingers crossed, because this guy's a killer. He comes from a big gym. Is Rafion Stutz. He's 13-1. He's a beast. And he's going to be, my next opponent. I'm hoping this is my next step up, to the big competition. So this is, this is who I want. Who hopefully I'll fight. I was supposed to fight him before. Unfortunately, it didn't happen because of the COVID-19, and so that messed it all up for us. But we still got contracts signed, and so right. I'm hoping, next fight is going to be him and I. So hopefully you guys tune in and get this. Oh yeah, it's going to be a good one.
Sounds good.
It's going to be a good one.
Can't wait. I want to watch that one.
Heck yeah.
All right, man. Thank you for being on the Full Broadcast show. And we'll have you back on this show once in the next few months or so and see that bell around your waist, man.
Yeah, sounds great. Thank you guys again. Have a good one.
Thank you, buddy. You too.
All right. What you think about my boy?
Oh, man, he was great, man. He's great. He has a good attitude, man. Good attitude, good character. You know what I'm saying? Very humble guy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you could tell he is a fighter. I like that.
Yeah, I've been watching him since his second fight. I didn't watch his first fight, but ever since his second fight, he kept rolling, being undefeated. And I'm like, wow.
Right.
If he keeps showing what he's got, which I know he does, and goes undefeated and wins that belt, I think UFC is gonna give him a call and try to get up there and win the major money and the big title for him.
Yeah, but he said it. I mean, the UFC and the Bellator called him same time, and he felt that the Bellator contract was better than the UFC. So hopefully, when the UFC sees him, how much good he's done with Bellator, and he could be a threat with anybody in the UFC. Hopefully, he could do the crossover, buy his contract and bring it to the UFC. I mean, UFC usually does that all the time. They always looking for guys they are going to bring it, to UFC. They don't just pick anybody, but he seems to, have everything put together. So, hey.
So, what's up, Chris Chavez? Welcome to my show, buddy. So, from what's going on now with all the virus, the looting going on, a lot of fighters had their shots to go like for the title or the next guy above them. So it's going to be kind of hard. Like he said, contract signed. He's going to fight that guy. They just don't know when. I can't wait.
Right.
I think the guy was 13-1.
13-1.
Yeah, I've seen him fight like 4 months ago. He's going to give Cass a run for his money. But I'm going to tell you this. Mr. Bell is going to beat him. I know he can beat him. And it's going to be a hard fight, but Mr. Bell's going to come on top. You watch.
Yeah, numbers don't never intimidate me, and I bet he feels the same way. So having somebody with a 13-1 record, for me, don't mean nothing because you know what, he never fought somebody like me. You know, what I'm saying that's the way I see it. And so for me, numbers don't mean nothing, and I bet for him doesn't mean nothing either. It just whatever,
Yep.
but just bring it. Do your homework, and hopefully he gets W.
All right, guys. We had a great show. We had 2 segments. One with That Be That. And towards almost the end of my show, Reggie Burnett Jr. came on and gave it all. They went at it.
Fireworks.
So you guys will be some fireworks here sooner or later. So,
Woo.
so I'd like to thank Cass Bell for being on my show. Look out for him, guys. Watch him on some of his fights on TV. Sometimes they have it on ESPN.
Yeah,
they have it on. So this Thursday we're gonna have Brian Maxwell and hopefully Jim Ehlers will be on. He hasn't given me a kick me back with anything yet, so hopefully he will message me later on and come on my show Thursday. So we got some more great fighters come on my show. It's really exciting to talk to these fighters, see where they're at, how they're doing, and it's my dream to do this. So keep watching our show, guys. You're going to see a lot of great fighters coming up. So thank you for being on the full broadcast. I'd like to thank my sponsors, D&D Baits. If you guys want some good baits, he's got some real good baits. Go on his website. He's got a lot of different baits that you could use to catch a lot of big fish.
Get that big fish. Get that big fish.
Yeah. And also, remember, on my next show, I'll be giving out prizes again. A shirt and a couple bags of baits that you could try out. So keep your ears open on that. And also, I'd like to thank Quit Bitchin' for being my sponsor on my show. If you go to their website at www.quitbitchin.com, enter my code Fuller, Fuller, and you get 15% off at the end of checkout, and you get a chance to knock Anthony the Tiger Cruz out. No, just kidding.
Yeah,
guys.
okay. Yeah.
Thanks for watching the full broadcast. My co-host, Anthony the Tiger Cruz. Full broadcast, 24/7 news, live interviews, mania coverage. I do MMA, boxing, IKF kickboxing, wrestling, you name it. If you want to be on my show, just message me. I'll be glad to have you guys. Good day from Full Broadcast. Have a good night, guys. Yeah.